What's going on, guys? Zach with J&Z Dumpster Solutions here again. We're going to be reviewing the Evolution Welding and Fabrication dumpster. I have 3 of these dumpsters. I've been using them for over 2.5 years. But let's take a look. Let's go, guys. Come on. All right, guys, let's dive deep into this. So, like I said, we have an Evolution Welding and Fabrication dumpster. They made it for us. I have 3 of them. So one is old. I think I got it built in 2022, and then 2 of them I did, and then the latest one I won in a raffle, and they built it for me in 2023, 2024ish. And so, but they're all over a year old, and I kind of want to just come out here, give you a little review on their fabrication. So just a little disclaimer, Evolution did not pay me for this. I wish they did, but they didn't. But I just wanted to dive deep because I think J&Z as a business, and me with my opinion and experience with dealing with multiple brands, I wanted to just let you know how they hold up. So just to give you a little reference, I've had and I have PJs, I have Max D's, I have American Made, and I have Evolution. So I have 4 different brands to give you my honest opinion about Evolution Welding and Fabrication builds. So behind me, you can see we have an Evolution Welding dumpster. This one, actually, let me see. This is my older model. There's some new things that Evolution did. A few of them is right here. They did a CNC machine hole cutout for, your safety chain. They also put little hinges right here throughout the dumpster for people that don't have automatic tarps. I don't have automatic tarps, so those work out great for me. When they first started them, they didn't do that. Obviously, they evolved because people were asking about them. So let's dive into it. We're looking at, in front of every commercial dumpster that you see, you usually always see a ladder. The times you won't see a ladder is more of your residential builds. So I'm gonna call them out: Max D, PJ, American Made, the ones that I have experience with, they don't have ladders. I use this ladder all the time. Looking in, getting on top, doing my tarping, because I don't have an automatic tarp. But these things are a must-have on your dumpsters. Hold up well, they're welded great. They're this one's a little bent up because the way my trailer sits, if the roll-off portion is all the way down like it is now, and I back up to it, it hits right here. So are there some things that Evolution can fine-tune? Probably. Maybe bring this up just a little bit more and just bring these up a little bit more. Other than that, I mean, they're great. They hold up well. I use them all the time, climbing in and out, looking over the dumpster, anything of that nature. I use them. Sides of the dumpster, definitely well built, welded correctly. On a commercial side of dumpsters, you're gonna get this big flat surface, okay? I like them. My best opinion, I wish dumpsters were made this way all the time. It definitely gives you a big surface to put any decal, have them up there nicely, flush, anything of that nature. Obviously, you see the welded seam. You're not gonna get, if you have a hole wrap, that portion is gonna bubble. So when you do put decals on, this flat surface is great, but when you come into, you see how my dumpster portion stops right there at that weld. If I went over that vinyl on that dumpster is gonna start bubbling and peel, and it's gonna be gone. So that's why we brought it over to the right a little bit and used that welded seam for our break point. But overall, Evolution did a great job. American Made dumpsters, they have a kind of a flat surface like this, and But PJ and Max D, they don't do that. They have like these cuts and stuff, and you know, this bend portion that comes up to here. So you don't have that much room to put vinyl stickering if that's what you're gonna do. So definitely a big, that's a big pro for Evolution Welding. You can see at the tops I have, you know, don't fill past this line. I have them in Spanish and English. It doesn't matter. Customers don't read them anyways, and they go over it all the time. Evolution only, to my knowledge, does a single back door. Two things, actually multiple things, some pros and cons to that. A single door, definitely more sturdy than a double door. Some cons to it, where I'm at, I have a lot of HOA communities, and if anybody knows anything about HOA communities, their driveways are so small, my pickup truck can't even fit in it without going over the sidewalk, which I don't understand it. I guess saving money, but if you drop off a dumpster there in an HOA community in my area, you cannot block a sidewalk. They will call you. Or the customer will be like, hey, they're gonna call me, don't block the sidewalk. So that is probably about the only con that, you know, with this 14-foot dumpster, I'm gonna need 6 foot behind it just to open this door all the way correctly. So for a single wide door, that is probably about the only con to it. Other than that, single door definitely holds up way better than a double door. And I only know that because obviously American Made and Max D and PJ, they all have double doors, they don't have singles. So let's dive deep into this more. You got a single lever. You have, obviously, you have a hook over here, and it goes into a little pin. That's pretty much to secure that. But also you have another securing mechanism. You put the chain in there and that will lock it into place. If you didn't have that on, you had this and this popped up, that's not moving. And so let's open this up a little bit. Do I have any issues with this lever? Never. Probably about the only thing I could probably do is they have them welded right here anyway, so you're not gonna be able to tighten those. But it's a little wiggly, but it's not a make or break. All right, 20-yard dumpster we're looking at. Floor is still great. Is it rusted? Yeah, but if you're in this business, you know that it doesn't matter what kind of paint you put on here, what kind of paint you put on the bottom. When you're moving dumpsters every day, this stuff is gonna get rusted, and it is what it is. But looking over all this, welds are great. I don't have any issues. There's no play. Some of these dumpsters, my Max D did it, my PJ did it. After time, you're gonna get this floor to wobble. And that's because your C channels under that are running, they weld the C channels obviously to the floor, but those welds for some reason pop, and then you'll start getting that popping noise, which is the floor breaking from the C channel. So I had that happen in my Max Ds, and I've had that happen in my PJ. All right, so making our way to the back. This is obviously your big single door. Love it. You can there's so much room to put a flat decal that you know that won't bubble. You have this one brace in the middle, which is not really a big deal. The lip down here for obviously, it closes the gap from the door to the actual dumpster. All right, so when your doors open up all the way, easy hooking. That chain is for this as well. Hooks in. Door ain't going anywhere. When you actually bring it up and put some pressure on this door just stays, you know, locked in that position. But super easy. You're not dealing with two chains like a Max D. When you open up a double door, those chains are all the way up here, so I have to actually get on my tire because I'm only 5'7" and hook it in. Same thing with a PJ. PJ style brands, they don't use chains, they use this kind of like bar, and you prop it up and then you put it into place and then you lock it down. The only things I don't like about that is when they're actually locked down and have some pressure behind it, it is super hard to get that little nut out. So this definitely a game changer and this is pretty much a standard for a commercial dumpster. Using this style and this method, never gets stuck, never have an issue. Just hook in, hook out, and you're in and out real quick with that. You're looking at the wheels. Standard wheels for any dumpster. The only things I can say for the wheel portion is these are standard. Any dumpster you get in this industry, you're gonna have those kind of wheels. The only thing I love about Max D wheels is they are like 12 inches. They're this long. They're pretty long. And the reason I say that is because when you go into like dirt area, grassy, when you're dropping those off, those dumpsters don't tend to dig into the dirt that much because it's so wide. It actually rolls on top of grass, with obviously weight limitations. These wheels, they always just dig, never rolling on top of grass. All right, so looking at the front, as we can see, standard for Max D and PJ. Never have any issues with this little D-ring over here. Now, the only issues I did have when they first started doing these, and I would assume that I was one of the first ones for them to make the Max D style dumpsters, they didn't account for this C-channel. So there's actually 2 C-channels back-to-back welded in this front. And then obviously it's welded over here, welded on that side, but it wasn't welded right here. So what they didn't take into consideration was welding this up here. So what I did was I had somebody bend it back as much as we could, weld this and weld the bottom. Never had any issues besides that. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, you know, Evolution, when I called them, they were more than happy to fix anything, and then anything that came out of my pocket, just reimburse. All right, guys, so this is the bottom. You can see these welds. None of them are popping. What I mean by that is when I was talking about earlier how the floor popped from the C-channels. All these welds are holding up, and this dumpster's almost 3 years old, and this dumpster has carried a lot of concrete and taken a lot of abuse. So like I said before though, you can see that crack. Those are the 2 C-channels that are put together, butted up, and they welded them. Obviously they didn't weld that portion right there. I did that portion, and so I bent that C-channel back as close as I could get to it and then welded it back. After that weld and a top weld, that C-channel doesn't bend anymore. So that's the bottom of Evolution. All right, guys, so that's a little bit of an overview of the Evolution welding and fabrication dumpster that they made for my PJ/Max D style trailer. Overall, I really want to say that if you're in this industry and you've had multiple brands, you know what I'm talking about, okay? So I've had 4 different brands of dumpsters, and overall, the Evolution made dumpsters, they're commercial grade. And those guys with the roll-off trucks know what I'm talking about. You can tell a commercial grade dumpster to pretty much a residential grade dumpster. I mean, I'll call it out as it is. Max D PJ, that's your residential dumpster manufacturers. You know, those are for the homeowner that just has some junk that wants to get thrown out and this and that. Evolution, these are made for concrete. For sure, no doubt about it. If you're if you're a landscaper and you're overall, you need a dumpster that can cater to that household customer and cater to that construction contractor customer, this is it for you. They're well made. This one is my oldest one, so I think it's over 2.5, almost 3 years old, and I've had no welds break. Anything that was damaged, it was because on my own accord, obviously the ladder, but this thing holds up, man. I don't have anything negative to say about it besides the weight. So obviously, if you're going to construct the dumpster on commercial grade level, that dumpster is going to be much heavier than a Max D and PJ, and that's probably about the only con to these dumpsters is they are a little bit more heavier, but not enough to be like, hey, this is ridiculous. I have 3 other dumpsters. If you're looking for a dumpster, definitely go hit them up, because like Max D and PJ and American made dumpsters, those guys don't even come close to Evolution, and Evolution's pricing is for the customer. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys stay for the entire video. Like, subscribe, comment, and we love you guys. We'll keep growing the channel. Stay tuned for the next review. I hope this review went in depth a little bit. I didn't do any specs, so if you're looking for what gauge, material, or anything of that nature, go ahead and call Evolution. They know those specs. I don't know those off the top of my head. I'm just giving you kind of a little review of, you know, my opinion and experience with dealing with the Evolution brand and other brands that I have in the fleet still that don't hold up to this brand. So, like I said, like, subscribe, comment. We'll see you guys on the next time.